All right, 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Let's jump into the latest 49ers news and rumors, as there is a lot going on in the world of our San Francisco 49ers. First, though, we're going to be doing a jersey giveaway later on in this video. So, not going to give away the details yet. It'll be later on, but stay tuned and find out how you guys can go ahead and get a brand new official Nike limited Nick Bosa or George Kittle jersey. That'll be later on in this video. All right, let's start with the first little bit of news, and that is Mike McGlinchey. I get asked about Mike McGlinchey all the time, and I figured, you know what? Let's just start the live Q&A with my thoughts on Mike McGlinchey. So everyone keeps asking me, Thomas, are they going to go ahead and, extend him in terms of picking up his fifth-year option, making him be a 49er for the next couple of years? Or are they possibly going to trade or cut him this offseason and draft his replacement? Like, these are the questions people want to know. And so let's go over it, right? So if they go ahead and give him the fifth-year option in 2022, it would cost about $10.88 million for the starting right tackle in San Francisco, which is a lot. Then you compare it to what Trent Williams wants, and it's like $18 to $20 million, and it's like, not really a lot overall. So with the up and down play of Mike McGlinchey, the question really becomes, do they go ahead and give him the option, or do they go ahead and wait? Now, they have till May 3rd. They don't have to officially declare his fifth-year option immediately, but it's going to be interesting to see what San Francisco is going to go ahead and decide to do with the starting right tackle. One thing I will push back on is a lot of people say he's just absolutely garbage. Not that bad, right? I mean, look at the Pro Football Focus numbers here for McGlinchey in 2020. Only 5 sacks allowed. That's an almost 1,100 snaps. It's pretty good. Now, he's 19th among offensive tackles. The pass blocking grade wasn't that great, and that's kind of the issue. But I'm not saying he's absolutely terrible. I think the main issue is that for what they're going to have to go and pay, but they extend that fifth year and pick up the option, it could be a little bit too much for me. Now, the real problem becomes, what do you do if you don't go ahead and extend him and you want to go ahead and let him go? Whether you trade him this offseason and put him in a trade package, or you just let him play one more year and then let him go in 2022. There's not a lot behind Mike McGlinchey. You see the depth chart on your screen right now. There's just not a lot in terms of who's going to be the starting right tackle. We're already wondering if Trent Williams is going to go ahead and come back this year. I imagine they're losing both of their starting tackles on both the right and left side, like the Chiefs did today. I mean, that would just not be good overall. But let's say they do keep Trent Williams, and that leaves only one tackle spot they need to fill if they let Mike McGlinchey go. I think that there are plenty of tackle options in the NFL draft. And that's kind of the big point of this beginning part of the video. I'm fine with keeping McGlinchey. I think $10 million is not, terrible in terms of paying one of the starting right tackle in the NFL. However, if they're able to re-sign Trent Williams, then they could go ahead and spend the 12th overall pick on one of the very many, honestly, very good offensive linemen in this draft. What was once considered not a great offensive line draft, now that you kind of give into the old nitty-gritty of it, it's a very good offensive line draft. And we know that Penei Sewell is obviously the number one guy. He will not be available by number 12 overall, but Rashawn Slater, Christian Darrisaw, Tevin Jenkins, Samuel Cosmi out of Texas, they have a lot of options if the 49ers wanted to go ahead and possibly, let me say this again, possibly not keep Mike McGlinchey going into the 2022 NFL season. And apparently, this is due to some reports today, the 49ers did go ahead and speak to Rashawn Slater. They've had their pre-draft meeting with him, and so does that mean they're going to draft him? I have absolutely no idea. So I'm kind of on the fence with Mike McGlinchey. Again, it's the whole point of the first part of this segment. I don't hate the guy. I don't think he's absolutely trash. He wasn't that great last year. I think the run blocking is fine. The pass blocking is kind of the issue. The real question is $10.8 million in 2022 too much to go ahead and keep him? Well, you know what? I'll leave that up to you guys. Pin comment down below. What do you guys think? Should the 49ers pick up Mike McGlinchey's fifth-year option and bring him back in 2021? Type Y down below for yes. If not, go ahead and type N down below for no. Be a pinned comment in this video. Let's move on to the weird article of the day, and one that I think I think some of you guys are honestly going to like this, because people are in love with Kellen Mond. And I don't really know why people are in love with Kellen Mond, but people are in love with Kellen Mond in the chat. So Chris Sims, of course, the former Giants quarterback and now works for NBC. I think he's on the Pro Football Talk radio show alongside Mike Florio. Either way, he has Kellen Mond, get this, as the fourth best quarterback in this year's draft. Think about that. The fourth best quarterback in this draft. And then he was asked, well, if he's the fourth best quarterback in this draft, the Niners are kind of right there where the fourth quarterback could go off the board at 12. Could you see them taking Kellen Mond at 12? And Chris Sims says, yes, easily. We'll show you the quote. Easily take him in the first round. Now, this to me is ridiculous, and I have plenty of thoughts on this, and I'll give you mine here in just 1 second. But Chris Sims, we give him credit where credit is due, has done a pretty good job projecting what quarterbacks will be good and bad over the past couple of NFL drafts. So here was Chris Sims on the 49ers drafting Kellen Mond. Quote, I don't think that's crazy. I don't. I think he fits the Shanahan system. I think he's got everything Kyle would want. I do. Again, I see touch. I see anticipation. I see phenomenal throws with no room in the pocket. So you heard it straight from Chris Sims' mouth. Now, if you're wondering, Thomas, how is he the fourth best quarterback on Chris Sims' board? Well, it's because his board looks like this. Zach Wilson as the number one quarterback in the draft, which is not super controversy because a lot of people like Zach Wilson. I think it's dumb because I like Trevor Lawrence, and he's like, to me, the next great quarterback in the NFL. So that's kind of an issue. He has Mac Jones 3, Kellen Mond 4, Justin Fields 5, and then you don't see it, but Trey Lance is 6, and then you have Kyle Trask sitting in there at number 7. So listen, do I agree that the 49ers should draft Kellen Mond? No, I don't. Now, if they got him in the third or second or third round, would I hate it? Well, maybe not as much as Chris Sims gave him the seal of approval. But this is them talking about drafting him at number 12 overall, and I just could not spend that high of a draft pick on Kellen Mond. There's just not been enough for me to sit back and go, yeah, you have to. Now, I'll ask. Should the 49ers draft Kellen Mond? Type D down below for draft. Type P down below for pass. What you guys think right now down below in the comment section. I would pass on this one. It's just me, but I'm curious what you guys think. The main reason why I would pass, though, because Mond is just not a first-round quarterback. Now, listen, just because he didn't have the best career at Texas A&M, not a bad career, but not the best career at Texas A&M, doesn't mean he'll be a bad quarterback in the NFL. There are plenty of scenarios and plenty of times in history where bad, or I should say not great college quarterbacks turn out to be pretty darn good in the NFL. And so maybe Kellen Mond is the best quarterback in this draft. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But there's not enough to justify taking him at number 12 to the point where if he were to struggle and you took him at number 12, John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan would look very dumb. And it would just not make sense for the 49ers who have other needs, right? Maybe they need an offensive lineman. Maybe they want to get another cornerback. Maybe they want to go wide receiver or defensive end. I don't know. But drafting Mond at 12 to me is just a little bit it's a little bit too much. It's just, it's too much for me to go ahead and do. And I would 100% be out on this one. Okay. Next story here. This is a fun story. So do you guys see this? Apparently, potentially, the Niners' 75th anniversary jerseys have been online. So they're apparently, potentially, this is not official yet, but here's the photo. I'm going to be wearing these red 1994 throwbacks for the league celebration year, and these popped up on eBay. So these do not officially guarantee that they're going to wear this in 2021. This is the first time I'm seeing them, and honestly, I think they look kind of cool and kind of throw back that Steve Young 94 team. These would be hot. I'd be all for the 49ers rocking these for a couple of games here in 2021. Again, these were leaked on eBay, and apparently only one of like 3 or 4 teams had their jerseys leaked. The 49ers were one of the ones leaked. You're seeing on your screen right now. Of course, goes back, like I said, the 94 year Steve Young led them to the Super Bowl, and we all know the rest. The rest is history. Give me a grade on these. How hot are these? Scale of 0 to 100. 100 being like hot, gotta have them. And then, of course, 0 being like, no, like I don't really need to go ahead and get them. But it looks like they're probably going to go ahead and wear these at some point in the 2021 season. So give me a grade on these. I don't hate them. I put it like a 70 or an 80. I feel pretty good about them overall. And I like the idea of this being a fun alternate jersey for our 49ers. Now, if you guys want a jersey of your own for free, like one of the official Nike ones that they are having, listen closely, right? Our BetUS promo is back. And all you got to do is sign up to start betting and betting on some sports with our friends at BetUS. So chatsports.com/49bet. The promo code is Niners125. And all you got to do is put down $100 when you go to our link and use our promo code, and we will go ahead and send you a jersey of your choosing. That means either the George Kittle one you see on your screen or the Nick Bosa one that you see on your screen as well. All you got to do is, of course, like I said, sign up, chatsports.com/49bet, and be a new BetUS customer. Deposit the $100 down, use the promo code Niners125, and then email us, 49ers@chatsports.com, telling us you have put down a bet on one of the upcoming conference championship games this week or any game happening in March Madness. So, of course, it's basketball time, right? Like, we can't tell you to go bet on a 49er game right now because there are no 49er games. You can bet on plenty of other stuff, though. But if you go ahead and sign up, use our link, the deposit bonus, email us and show us your bet, we will confirm your account and then send you either your choosing with George Kittle or Nick Bosa Nike Legend Scarlet Red Edition in whatever size you possibly want. Now, I know you're saying, Thomas, my team's not really good, whatever school I went to, and so I don't know what team to bet on for March Madness. Don't even worry about it. I'll tell you right now. See that team in green? That's one below Gonzaga, which is dumb. They should be ahead of Gonzaga. Baylor. That is who you're going to bet on. Now, Thomas, why? Why Baylor plus 300? Because I went to Baylor. I'm staring at my Baylor diploma on the camera wall right behind you, and they're a really good basketball team. And they dominated today in the Big 12 tournament, and they're going to go ahead and dominate the rest of the Big 12. They might meet up with Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game, but don't worry. Sam's Oklahoma Sooners, Bruiser Sam's, they will get rolled. And so bet on the Baylor Bears, or I guess bet on any other team you want in college basketball. But again, all you got to do is go ahead and get one of the official NFL Nike jerseys. Bet with us and use our link, chatsports.com/49bet. Use that promo code Niners125. Be a new customer, put the $100 down, and then, of course, email us, 49ers@chatsports, to tell us what bet you did, and that's how you're able to go ahead and redeem your jersey, and we will go ahead and send that to you right away. All right, final thing here before we move on to our before we go ahead and move on, I want to get into this article by NBC Sports Bay Area where he predicted 12 49er free agents and where they would go ahead and land. Now, this is interesting because free agency is, I think, next week, right? Because it's March 17th, so it's coming up here pretty quickly. And so Matt Mayoko, of course, is one of the great 49er beat writers, gives his list of where he has these 49ers going and only has Trent Williams, Kyle Juszczyk, and Jason Verrett returning, which is going to be interesting if that would go ahead and be the case. Honestly, I don't hate the 3 that they're bringing back, but I'm going to show you where all the rest of them are projected to go via NBC Sports and give you guys' thoughts and my thoughts, of course, on this entire list. So this is going to be a very interesting next couple of days and weeks for our San Francisco 49ers. Now, before we do it, make sure you guys subscribe to the 49ers Report for nonstop 49er updates. As soon as the free agent cycle begins, and I'm telling you, it starts March 17th, it's going to happen here very, very soon. Hit the big red subscribe button down below or just do the link or youtube.com/49ers TV. That is your one-stop shop and your place to be to go ahead and be up to date on the latest 49ers news and rumors. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the list by NBC Sports. So here are the predictions. So first off, he has NBC Sports, Matt Mayoko. He has the 49ers re-signing Trent Williams, which is big because he's expensive. Re-signing Kyle Juszczyk, also big because he's important. And re-signing Jason Verrett, meaning Verrett's the only corner that will be returning to the San Francisco 49ers. The rest are going to hit free agency, which to me says they'd have to get a free agent cornerback, someone not currently on the roster, or draft somebody at number 12. Now, here are his predictions on where everybody else goes. C.J. Beathard, he isn't being a Bengal, being a backup there. Kendrick Bourne being a Green Bay Packer. Solomon Thomas going to Denver. That's interesting. Kerry Hyder Jr. being a Jet, going back with Robert Saleh, which stinks, by the way. I'd like to keep Kerry Hyder Jr. And DJ Jones going to the Tennessee Titans. He then has Richard Sherman going to the Raiders, which is something we've talked about on this show because John Gruden is recruited Richard Sherman. K'Waun Williams, again, Robert Saleh with the Jets. That's a big blow. Witherspoon going to the Seahawks. That would stink. And Jaquiski Tartt going to the Cleveland Browns because the Browns went ahead and cut one of their safeties just a couple of days ago. Listen, I don't necessarily hate everything that he projected here on this article. I think a lot of it is potentially be accurate. The real question is what happens with Trent Williams. Now, of course, Matt Mayoko has Trent Williams re-signing with the 49ers, but what you need to understand is Trent Williams is the lead domino. Trent Williams is going to be the brick that either builds the 49ers or burns the 49ers in free agency. If they re-sign him, most of their free agent money is going to be gone. I mean, literally 18 to 19 of their $24 million goes straight, potentially. I know salaries change a little bit, but goes basically straight to Trent Williams. If they were to not re-sign Trent Williams, that leaves a massive hole at left tackle, but it gives them a ton of money. And so instead of just re-signing Kyle Juszczyk and then maybe Jason Verrett, they're probably going to re-sign a lot more of their guys internally and maybe even go out into free agency and dapple a little bit, maybe pick up a wide receiver or somebody else. So Trent Williams, again, he is the domino. I like the idea of bringing him back, but he is going to be very, very expensive. And so once something happens with him, we'll know a lot more and a lot better about how much the 49ers can actually spend on other free agents and key in perhaps free agents as well. Give me your thoughts on this. On the free agents predicted to leave, the ones that you just saw, basically everyone but Juszczyk, of course, Jason Verrett and Trent Williams, which one do the 49ers need to keep? I would personally say Kerry Hyder, honestly. I like Kerry Hyder. I'd like him to go ahead and re-sign, but of course, he's going to be too expensive if they re-sign Trent Williams. But out of the ones predicted to leave, let me know who you guys think we want to stay the most.